Hello, everybody. It's Nerdy Boy Weaves here. I am actually back after a week of not posting a video. I have a reason for that. I was not in the best state of mind last week. That's why we didn't get any reactions. Um, what happened to me the day prior to my usual reaction day, wasn't anything too god awful bad, but it was something that put me in a really bad state of mind for a couple days, and I've been slowly getting over it. Um, it had to do with something that happened to me when I was on my way to work. And it wasn't with a person, it was with a thing. Specifically an animal. When I was on my way to work, um, last, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, and I was walking to my job, I went past the gate, and even though I heard the owner, or possibly the owner's voice, the gate was open. Big dog, adult grown dog, chased me into the street. And if you can't really tell, hold on. Uh, if you can't, if you look at my middle finger and you see this little thing right here, that is one of three cuts I have on my fingers right now. And I have a cut right here, on my elbow because I got chased in the street by a big dog. It chased me in the street. I fell, and other things happened. My leg was sore, and it wasn't pleasant, but it jacked me up so badly that I literally didn't upload the reaction I made that day because I had reacted to Rustage that day. So my goal, hopefully later on, because it's like 12 o'clock in the morning right now where I'm at. Um, the the reaction I'm planning on putting up, hopefully, I want to go through with it. Um, Sailor, your love, if you're seeing this, one high, too. Um, the next reaction might is possibly the plan is for it to be a all female nerdcore reaction, um, involving two other artists aside from Sailor, your love. But now that I've got this signed, because I'm already going 3 minutes into the video, I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about what this video really is, generally how I title this, and we're going to be talking about WandaVision. Yes, I finished the series recently, about 2 to 3, actually 2 days ago, and I literally had to hold myself from drawing fan art because what I'm about to show you guys is literally spoiler. So if you don't want to see this, just probably by 4 minutes, just ignore the video. But here's uh, Wanda, and here's another character. Ah, doggone it. Uh, the people who've seen the show know who this is. But alright, that was a little spoiler for y'all, for the people who didn't care. Um, what did I think about WandaVision? It would surprise me, actually. WandaVision is a mini-series for all you guys who are out of the loop on Disney+. Plus. It takes place after Endgame. Hold on, I have to touch my roll for a minute. Excuse me. It's about basically... Also, this is going to be a spoiler-heavy review, and I mean, thought video. Um, a lot. We saw in the commercials that it's like a sitcom and all that. By the eighth episode, you find out why it's an eighth. I mean, why every episode is like a sitcom, and it's pretty dang interesting because here are the characters you'll see that you've seen through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, aside from Wanda and Vision. You will see Monica Rambo, who, if you guys have seen Captain Marvel, is a daughter of Maria Rambo, who is the friend and co-pilot of Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel herself from the movie. Because remember, that movie took place in the '90s before Fury lost his eye. Also, fun fact: for anyone who's seen the movie, if you saw Carol or aka Brie Larson, Carol Danvers pass by a red-haired woman with glasses, that woman is actually a Captain Marvel writer. Her name is Kelly Sue DeConnick. And yeah, we saw Stan. Also, that and also the credits because that was the first MCU movie that came out in the year since his passing. So yeah, I do remember that. But back to WandaVision, Monica Rambeau, because again, I said it's going to be spoiler. In episode, I think 4, um, we see something in-game related, and that is we see the reverse snap of when Bruce snapped everyone back into existence, and we find out that during the 2 of the 5 years that passed after Infinity War, Monica's mother, Maria, had a relapse of a cancer, even though the surgery was successful. But 2 years, 2 to 5 years after the I think during the time after the procedure, I guess that's when Monica got snapped out of existence because I think the snap was still going on during the 5 years. Because you got to remember, Thanos was literally had decimated half of the universe or half of the Earth. No, wait, actually, it was half the universe. My bad. But Monica is revealed to be part of a group called Sword, who's played by the scumbag of the out of the human characters. Director. I think his name is Tyler Hayward. Could not stand that dude. We see the FBI agent from Ant-Man the Wasp, Jimmy Woo. From back, he learned that card trick that Scott taught him. I thought that was really nice. Ooh, it took a very unique approach of telling a story about characters we have been following for a while. But the sitcom in episode 8, if you thought you knew what really happened with Wanda and Pietro, oh, you got another thing coming. Episode 8, because here's the thing. We find out the reason why every episode is a sitcom, because in episode 8, when our big bad had revealed themselves, if you caught when I say, you probably know who I'm talking about. The big bad revealed himself and literally made Wanda have like her own little therapy session through her memories. And what we find out is when she was a little girl, her and Pietro were little kids. When they were still in Sokovia, her parents had a box of old sitcoms, I think, so they can learn English. The day they were watching Dick Van Dyke, the Stark Industry missile that Wanda had mentioned, they waited around a 2 to 3 day time frame, saying we waited 2 to 3 days for Tony Stark to kill us. We find out, I think she was talking about they were talking about the concept of shenanigans and coming up with a solution to it. And what we find out at the end of episode 8, because our big bad is revealed to be this woman who, throughout the beginning of the series, goes by the name Agnes. The nosy names are Agnes. But her real name is Agatha Harkness, who, if you're a comic book reader, you know that that woman is a mentor of sorts to Wanda. And she reveals at the end of episode 8 that Wanda's powers isn't inhuman powers like we thought, but more or less, she actually has the power of magic, chaos magic specifically. And Agatha actually says Wanda's actual superhero, title in the comics being the Scarlet Witch, which is now it's canonically said. Um, Monica Rambo. Also, another thing about her, if for all you people who don't know, but we comic book readers know, she has had the title of Captain Marvel before, but she has other titles as well. Um, and yes, we do see Monica. I mean, not Wanda's and Vision's sons, Billy and Tommy Maximoff, aka Wiccan Speed. Um, Episode 8 also reveals why the world is a sitcom. Because when Wanda went to go wanted to bury Vision's remains, and um, Sword had Vision's remains and wouldn't give it to her, she goes to Westview, which is where she and Vision had planned to settle down there and make a life. But here's what happened. Infinity War and Endgame happened. Um, and when she was in the open space, she let all that grief from all the tragedy she had endured come out into a whole literal explosion of power. Like her power became, she, think of how you see the Phoenix Force gets released out. It's like that. And literally, she turns Westview into a sitcom and brings back Vision in a way. Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany and a few other actors. Oh, and Catherine Hahn. These three really knocked it out of the park with this show. This is a miniseries too. I'm glad I also finished this because I know Falcon Winter Soldier is coming out tomorrow. Well, today technically. And I'm really excited for that. And it's only going to be 6 episodes, so which is great because I'm glad that they decided to make these miniseries instead of seasonal series, because had they done that, I think you would kind of like be wasting your budget, because the ending of WandaVision is setting up for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And because Elizabeth Olsen is attached to that title, and for all we know, she might appear in Spider-Man No Way Home, because Doctor Strange is supposed to be in there, and possibly, unless they officially have confirmed that Charlie Cox is Matt Murdock from the Netflix Daredevil series, supposed to be in there as more than like Peter's lawyer, because you got to keep in mind it's not just a whole lawyer thing. Peter and Matt are best friends and kind of like brothers in a sense. I can't be uber loud because it's kind of late at night and I don't want to cause a noise complaint. But then again, I'm not really loud anyway. I'm talking and rambling. It's funny because I'm also wearing a Spider-Man shirt. What else can I talk about? Agatha has this book called Dark Hold, which is she translates as the Book of the Damned. The question is, my theories and beliefs in terms of how the thing is because at the end of the series, we see in the credit scene, we see Wanda studying the Darkhold, and doing Doctor Strange. We're just using an astral astral projection, which I didn't know that's what she was doing. I knew she was studying the dark hold, but because here's the thing, she can, with her powers, she can reshape reality any way she wants to. She leaves Westview and secludes herself because I think even though she's using the Darkhold, I do believe her thing is going. She's going to define what the book says about her. It might be harder done than said, but I don't want to automatically assume they're gonna just let her stay evil. They're gonna do something. And the thing is with Scarlet Witch and like Quicksilver, they never have a definitive origins other than the fact they usually related to Magneto as his kids. But in due to the fact Magneto doesn't exist in this universe with the MCU, and I know it's a Fox merger. You're not the point. He's in another universe. They're in another universe because the last credit scene in WandaVision is with when she's studying the Darkhold. You hear Billy and Tommy saying, "Mom, help! Mom, help!" Like, and she has a look, and there's red flashlight, and it stops. And I was looking at some people's reactions. It could be one, maybe she is talking. Gonna has a connection to, or finds a connection to Mephisto, who, if you've seen Ghost Rider, you know who he is. If you don't know, he's basically Marvel's equivalent to the devil. But the other thing I believe, which correlates to Doctor Strange, is maybe her kids are alive in another universe. They actually exist in another universe because, as I said before, the boys do get their powers in the show. And in the last episode, Monica, Billy, and Tommy all fight the military. Fight Sword. You're thinking, why is she fighting against Sword, or the people she works with? It's because she realizes they're full of crock. And I think Hayward is trying to, like, it doesn't sympathize with superheroes because with him being a normal person and him going through a decimation, he wants to use the excuse that he doesn't have, him not having, probably not having powers and him not being a super. He felt like he probably had it harder as a civilian of sorts, or a regular human being, because of losing his loved ones to the decimation. But dude, you're trying to villainize someone who is one, not that old for one thing. She's still kind of a kid in some respect. She's probably legally over 18, but she's still a young adult. She's like still learning things. And the thing is, Monica literally, yeah, Monica, the actress who plays Monica also needs to get in war for her portrayal because of her characterization of Monica, because she didn't go like, I'm going to be angry at you for doing this. No, I understand because I'm going through grief myself. And the fact that she was able to sympathize and understood that when Wanda lets go of her hold on the Hex, which is basically the thing that created the sitcom version of Westview, she's like, these people will never know what you had to sacrifice. It's like, it doesn't matter because I can't change what they see me as, considering the fact I showed them my grief and made them feel my grief and all my anguish and pain and suffering. So they're gonna look at me like a monster regardless. And maybe there might be some people be like, my question about that though, did they only feel her pain and her grief? Did they actually see her past? Or were they able to see through what's going on through her? That's my question about it. Agatha's still alive, but she's now stuck in the role that Wanda put her in. Here are the sitcoms by my memory that they use in the series: Bewitched, I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke, um, Brady Bunch, and throughout the rest of the series, it kind of takes a setting of Malcolm in the Middle, which is if you don't know what Malcolm in the Middle is, if you remember the actor Frankie Muniz, he was the main character of that series. It's called Malcolm in the Middle because he played Malcolm and he was the middle child of three siblings. Um, yeah, my theories basically go Darkhold might center to show her another universe, which goes multiverse of madness. We might see both her and Stefan in Spider-Man: No Way Home. What I don't know what they're gonna do with Nightmare because my coworker thinks they're gonna have Bruce Campbell, aka Ash from Evil Dead, as Nightmare. But the thing is, I heard they were looking for a female to play Nightmare, so we got to see about that. Because the reason being, because this is going to be Marvel's first attempt at a horror movie in the MCU. So let me see what they can do with that. Is there anything else I could say? Um, yes. Okay. With Billy and Tommy, throughout the season, I was honestly always rooting for Billy because Billy's powers are more similar to his mother's, where it's Tommy's. His powers are similar to his uncle, and I guess Aaron Taylor Johnson wasn't available to reprise the role as Pietro. So yeah. Also, we another thing I forgot to mention. That's another spoiler. When Wanda and Pietro go through experimenting, Wanda actually had an encounter with the Mind Stone that through the staff that Loki used in the first Avengers, way before Thanos and Ultron even became a thing, and she literally saw what she became. Because on the ninth episode, she literally becomes the embodiment of what Agatha told what she was, the Scarlet Witch. She gets her new look, and she looks amazing. And I hope those guys get an award. Paul Bettany, Elizabeth Olsen, the whole crew. Oh, and for all you Thor fans, Kat Dennings is back in this as Darcy. D- Darcy actually gets invested in the show that they're putting on, but she does see that those two genuinely do love each other, so she can understand the heartbreak. Understand that it's gonna be there's a lot going on. Mr. Multiverse said this. I think Kat Dennings. I agree with him. I think Kat Dennings would make a great Zatanna because they're making a Zatanna live action movie. And yes, I do know the Snyder Cut came out. Yeah, okay. But I hope to see more of Kat Dennings soon. I can't really think of anything else to say other than what I said. Also, the reason why, okay, but yeah, but Billy, okay, yeah. The thing is, I heard the rumor that Troy Sivan was possibly going to be doing something involving WandaVision. Yes, we never got that, but if he does still come to the MCU, I think he would be a good choice for Wiccan. I mean, for Billy as a teenager or an older adult, because I think there was a thing in the LGBT thing involving Billy or something, some LGBT reference in the show. And you think you need to know about Billy is Billy's actually gay. Tommy, I'm not sure if he's either queer, ace, or straight. I don't know. But and the reason why Troy Sivan would be the perfect choice to play an older Billy Maximoff is because he himself is gay in real life. So that's if they make this whole story. But at the same time, it would just be cool to see Troye Sivan as Billy General, even if they don't talk about his love life. Because I have listened to some of Troye Sivan's music. I do like his music a little bit. Um, but then again, can Grayson Chance play him? If you don't know who that is, that's that kid who got popular by Ellen singing Paparazzi. And the reason I brought him up because he also came out as gay a few years ago. Um, who could play a Tommy though as a teen? I mean, older. Anyone got any ideas? Well, that's all I got to say. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Again, this is a spoiler-filled video, so you've been warned. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't checked WandaVision, please do. It's a mini-series, it's only 9 episodes. You'll get through real quick. And if you love the MCU, you will definitely enjoy this. All right, I'll see you in the flip side. Bye-bye.